Louisville's only full-time comedy nightclub for over 30 years. Welcome and thanks for coming out to support the Amos Chang Benefit Comedy Show. Hi Amos, we got Amos on FaceTime as long as my phone lasts. A couple more minutes.
Hey, Amos.
Just a couple of quick rules. No firearms allowed during the course of the show. I can't remember. I know, right? Listen, I'm going to bring up your host and MC for the rest of the evening. He's appeared in clubs and colleges all over the country, and he's one of my favorite comics. Please welcome to the stage your host, Mr. Mike Nielsen.
Thanks, Jeff. All right, good evening, folks. Welcome to the Caravan. How is everybody? It's Tuesday. All right, excellent, good. The only thing I like better than an audience with 4 people in it is if they're completely apathetic and uncaring about the whole situation that we got going here, which is having a good time. There's Amos. Hey, buddy. We're having a fundraiser for our friend Amos. So let's all make some noise and say hello. Tell Amos we love you. He's dancing with Dr. Dilaudid right now as we speak, and he's having a good old time over there at Baptist Hospital. Welcome to our show. We got a great lineup of comics tonight. My name is Mike Nielsen. I'll be your host for the evening, and we're glad that you are here. We had a lot of comedians that came out just to kind of check out the show and be part of the celebration here. So we actually have way more comedians than we do actually people in the audience. So that could skew the laughter quotient a little bit. These are my imaginary friends that follow me around to all my shows down here in the front row, constantly judging me. I'm happy to be here. I'm originally from New York City. Thank you so much. Okay. Oh, one clap, just a single clap. Just got that one, get that round of applause. Hey, welcome. Come on in. All right, cool. I live here now. Live here in Louisville. Yeah, thank you. Thanks. My wife is from here. I met her here at this club, at this very club, in 1988. There's history in this room. We met right back there in that hallway back there after the show that I was doing. I was a traveling comic. I'd never been here before, and I started talking to her after the show, and we started up a conversation, and I said some smart-ass thing, and she goes, "Shut your pie hole." So that's it. She closed the deal right there. I don't know what that is, but I slammed it shut immediately as soon as she instructed me to do so. Shut your pie hole. Like, what the hell is that? She goes, "It's a hole you put your pie." But that was it. She got me with the accent. Southern women will say things to you that make absolutely no sense, but they'll steal your heart. Shortly after we got together, I moved here to be with her. And shortly after I came here, my wife told me that we were going to a derby party, which I had never been to before. And I'm like, "Well, what do I wear to a derby party?" And she goes, "Just wear a little shorts outfit." I didn't know what that was. I'm imagining myself dressed up as Angus Young from AC/DC with my shorts and my beanie and rocking out at the derby party. Actually, shortly after I moved here in 1989, I was bestowed an honor. I was given a certificate as an official Kentucky Colonel. So I am officially a Kentucky Colonel. Yeah, man. I get to go to the picnics and everything. I am a Kentucky Colonel. I used to tell people I'm the only Kentucky Colonel with a purple skull bong, but that does not apply anymore. I got rid of the skull bong. For a while there, I was the only one. I would check with the other guys at the picnic. I did find out at a Kentucky Colonel picnic that Mitch McConnell has a one-hitter with Ronald Reagan's face etched into the side of the dugout box, so that was kind of his thing. Oh, you know he's high, that guy. That Mitch McConnell. How do you think he gets his mouth to go like this all the time? That guy's... He is wasted. Thanks. I love being married. My wife is my best friend. We have a great relationship, and things just couldn't be better. Best thing about my marriage, without a doubt, is the fact that my wife tells me intimate secrets about all of her female friends. Which I love, because, you know, she gets off the phone with these women and then runs and tells me all kinds of secret, disgusting details. And then I get to meet these women and hang out with them at parties, which is great, because I got beautiful women walking up to me going, "Hey, you're Mike. You must be the comedian." I'm like, "Hey, you're Susan." The nymphomaniac with the anal fixation. What's up? What is up? What's so much about you? Anal sex fans in this wing of the building over here? I am 54 years old. It's a weird age. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. I've been growing this beard. It came in all white. I was kind of terrified when I saw it coming in, but I didn't want to stop because eventually I want to look like Ernest Hemingway right before he blew his brains out with a shotgun and pulled the trigger with his toe. You know, that's something to aspire to when you're a creative artist like me. Thank you. Thanks. Amos was digging that joke, particularly guys in the hospital. Me talking about suicide. Yeah, that always lightens the mood. All right.
He's laughing.
What's that?
He's laughing.
Oh, he's laughing. Good. Thank you. And Tom is in the background going, yes, he's on Dilaudid, Mike, yes. He's high as fuck, Mike, okay? Just keep doing the jokes. I've never done a show in 37 years where someone was right there and watching me from a hospital bed. I think Joe DiMaggio would do that. If he were around today, he'd hit a home run and watch the kid on the screen and go out there and jam one into left field. Thank you. Joe DiMaggio fans, the Yankee Clipper, remember him? Oh, that's you. Thank you, sir. Joe DiMaggio is risen from the dead on Halloween. We are celebrating Halloween tonight. That's why no one showed up to our fucking show. And it's kind of weird. They canceled they moved Halloween back a day so the kids wouldn't get rained on. That blows. I'm sorry. I am not cool with that at all. Halloween has become completely bastardized for this generation of kids anyway, because now when they want to get ready for the holiday, they go to the Halloween store, which they didn't have when I was a kid. You made your own shit. You made your own decorations. You made your own costumes. Carved your own pumpkins. You hung your own lights on the house. Now you go to like a deserted Circuit City that closed down a couple of years ago, and under the cover of darkness, it has now become the Halloween store. It's got a big plastic, looks kind of like this, a big plastic banner hanging off the front of the place. Come on in, it's August. Come on in and buy some shit. We've got a plastic rotting corpse right over here that's got your name on it there, buddy. So the kids aren't scared because they walk in and there's a rotting corpse and there's severed limbs, and it's just supposed to be scary. I guess it's a sad and pathetic kind of experience because you're walking around and the only thing weird is you can like feel the souls of the departed Circuit City employees lingering in the mist. And they have to staff this place, which is, that is terrifying because they're only open for a couple of months. So you're not really getting the pick of the litter of the employment pool there at the temporary retail establishment. You know, they got some HR guy who's tasked with hiring these people, looking at the resume, going, oh, I noticed here you're a registered sex offender. You got a swastika tattoo on your neck and bad breath. You're hired. You're the new CEO of the Halloween store. Welcome aboard. Here's some information on your 201k. You start on Monday. See, half of, well, 200.5K. Thank you. Hey, drink up, if we could. And Amos, since Amos is watching, let's all raise a glass to our friend Amos. We wish you well, sir. We hope you get better. Amos is an old friend of mine who I met on the road years and years before I came here to start doing living here in Louisville, and met my wife and continued my road experience from here. And so yeah, I lived in New York, that's where I grew up, and then Florida, Tampa, and then here. So next logical big-time showbiz career move for me, fucking Wyoming is where I'll be, out there working at Yukon Pete's Comedy Outpost and Bait Shop. So if you're in the neighborhood, stop in. Buy a snowshoe, get a dick joke. That's how it's going to work for me out there. Thank you. Oh, shut up, Chip. All right. You know it's a special show when you can recognize individual people's laughter in the audience. Shut up, Cliff. Oh, we do. We have a lot of friends for you here tonight, buddy. It's just an amazing night. Oh, so here's the other thing about Halloween. I have memories because when I grew up in New York, a little different from here because it would get cold at the end of October where I grew up, and I'll never forget this one year. I actually talked my mom into letting me get a store-bought Halloween costume from Woolworths. It cost $3. and it was a Spider-Man costume, and it had the two parts to the costume. If you remember, it came in a little box, and you take it out, and there was the body part that was like the suit, I guess. Well, it tied in the back like a hospital gown, so it was kind of, yeah, you know, and it was that weird pilled up slick material like your mom's old panties. The whole thing was made out of that, and the legs were never long enough. You had like Spider-Man red and blue down to here, and then brown cords and keds at the bottom sticking out. And I was in New York, and it was cold, and my mom would see me heading out to trick-or-treat, and she'd go, "You better put your coat on. Put your coat on, it's cold." I'm like, "Hey, I'm Spider-Man, you know?" And she goes, "Well, I don't care if you're Richard Nixon. Put your coat on." It was early in the 70s. So I was trying to be cool. I had to figure out how to work this thing, so I put the coat on underneath the Spider-Man costume. So now I'm this lumpy, misshapen Spider-Man, big fur parka thing around the top. And the mask, of course, that was part 2 of the costume. You had that plastic mask that you had to figure out how to wear, and I wore glasses from the time I was 8 years old, so I had to figure out this engineering mechanism here, because I'm like, okay, well, I could put the glasses on first, then put the mask over that with the elastic around the back. You know that's going to bust, and I just felt like an idiot, so I actually did this. I put the mask on, then put the glasses over the plastic Spider-Man mask. So now I'm this intelligent and sophisticated Spider-Man. Not only can I spin webs for my wrist, but I can conjugate verbs and do your taxes and all kinds of good shit. Thank you, folks. That's my time. I'm gonna just, yeah, thank you. I want to introduce. We have a great lineup of comics tonight. We have people from all across the comedy spectrum. Old friends of mine, old friends of Amos. We have very talented young comedians just getting their start in the business, and that's who I'm going to bring up right now. This young lady hosts the Wednesday night shows here at the Caravan. She's very, very funny. Put your hands together and welcome Misty Stein. Misty.
And everybody that put this together. This is awesome. Y'all are good people. I don't care what they say about you behind your backs. Y'all are class A dudes, man. Well, he kind of stole my thunder because I was, you know, wanting to talk about Halloween and like how it really kind of is crazy how they're making us do it on a different day. Where I came from, my generation, that was kind of the fun in it. You never knew what you was going to get. Like, the weather never cooperated. And like the one thing that I take away from that is like I never like figured out what I would do for a Klondike bar, but I know what I'll do for a Snickers. And rain is not going to keep me away from your damn door. I want your Snickers. You know, that's the shit I came from. But anyway, he kind of already stole that thunder. So it's good to see you guys here. Thanks for coming out. Y'all looking good? Strong? Low in the numbers, but you're mighty, and I love you for it. I love you for being here. I am a lone parent. I feel like lone parent sounds way more badass than single mom. Single mom sounds so tragic, like just single, like no man. You know, it implies that I don't have a man, but it just sounds sad. I feel like lone parent is scarier, like, you know, a lone wolf. Like, I'm out here navigating these parental streets alone, you know, no dad around. That's the life I live. No dad, just me and my teenage daughter all the time. All the time. I sometimes find myself fantasizing about, like, you know, a 2-parent household. Or not like a healthy, functioning one, like a broken one. You know, where both parents are involved, but they live in separate houses. So you get this sweet break every other weekend. I don't get that. I can't send my daughter to her dad's. I'd have to put her on the inmate visitation list. Cannot afford that therapy. And it's okay, like, she's got her own jokes about it. Like, when her friends at school ask her about her dad, she tells them he's at an all-inclusive resort at a place called Prizone. It's very exotic. So she's not, you know, she'll adjust. She's gotten older, so I can be more honest with her. So when she came to me and asked me what STD meant, I told her, girl, it means stop touching dudes. Am I lying? No. Go Google search. It'll tell you too. Yeah. And then she wanted to know, the questions got harder, and she wanted to know if I've ever smoked marijuana. Right? So I had to set her down, look her in the eye. Girl, I'm high right now. Yeah. She was impressed that I got drugs. Like, that was all she was concerned about. She was like, Mom, so you, like, have a drug dealer or something? I was like, yeah. You might know her as Grandma. Yeah. So that's how I choose parents. That's where we're at. I've got a couple of friends that are getting married, so I had to go out shopping. And I don't know why we feel the need to dress up for these weddings. Like, we're not a part of any, like, we're just coming to witness this shit. Why do I have to dress up? I feel like we should dress for weddings how we feel the marriage is gonna go. Like, if you're not really digging this decision, just, you know, no bra, flops, sweats, whatever. You don't need to dress up. If you're into it, by all means, let them know. I hate shopping though as a woman, right? As a woman, it's brutal, it's wrong. We have three options. We have juniors, we have women's, and we have women's plus. How rude. What are you trying to say with this plus? Like, I'm a woman plus another woman? I'm just all the women? It's rude. I am kind of excited that they figured out, like, what kind of fashion I've been looking for. Because I have my entire life been looking, as a bigger lady, been looking for a shirt that has an elephant on it. Like a full-grown ass elephant. We've always wanted a shirt with an elephant on it. So, you know, when guys, you know, look at me or whatever, they can size me up. They'd be like, well, she big. She ain't elephant big, you know. I don't know what that was under your breath, but I feel like that was great. I don't like Victoria's Secret. Victoria's Secret is ran by a bunch of assholes. I'm totally convinced. I feel like one day they decided they were going to sell bigger girl underwear. They're like, we're going to do it. What? We're going to put it on the bottom shelf, you know? Because if they want to wear underwear, them bitches going to do a slide. No. Secret's out, Victoria. You're an asshole. All right, I'm going to leave you guys with one more thing. I am adopted. Yeah. No need to clap. I get the hesitation. You're jealous because it pretty much just means I'm better than you. That's what it means. I mean, I'm a rescue human. Come on. I was picked and paid for. You guys are the mistakes. Sorry, you'll find out this way. I was also born on Christmas Eve. Yeah, so you're looking at a re-gift. You're welcome. All right, guys, that's been my time. I've been Misty Stein. Y'all have a great night.
Thank you. Misty Stein, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Woo! Having fun so far? All right. We're going to keep the show rolling right along. Another good friend of mine, old friend of mine. He's actually older than me. I would like that to be publicly announced. Very, very funny. Tours all over the country. Put it together. A round of applause for my friend Jeff Davis. Jeff!
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Misty. Thank you all for coming out tonight. I'm having a great year. I started off the year. I won a state championship in racquetball. Yeah, sure, it was the old fat guy division, but I still got a trophy. Second most exciting thing to happen to me with involving a paddle. You don't know what racquetball is? It's basically a couple of old sweaty guys banging a ball against a wall. Or as some people call it, summer football camp at Penn State. Thank you. A groan is as good as a laugh tonight, my friends. Good as a laugh. Now that I'm a state champion, I have sponsors. Ibuprofen and Fat Tire Lager. The best thing about being a racquetball player in the United States is, of course, if they build that wall, there'll be a lot more places to practice. Get off of our big, beautiful, clear wall. Get back. Get back. They'd be non-lethal hits. It's just a racquetball. Anyway, I was in the Army. I was in the Army National Guard. That's probably a scary thought, those of you who know me. And one of my favorite memories, I was at Fort Knox for summer training, and a bunch of these Korean officers came over to train with us, right? Korean lieutenants, Korean sergeants and stuff, and we're out doing our PT. We're running our 5Ks, and these guys stunk. I'm not kidding you. I don't know. Maybe it was their diet, but we were running a 5-mile run one morning, and I said, "My God, you guys smell like kimchi." And the one guy said, "You smell like meat and cheese." Meat and cheese. Okay, anyway. Very excited to be here tonight. Tonight, I figured it out, this is actually the 30-year anniversary of when I first auditioned for Tom Sobel at this club. 30 years ago, October 1988. Yeah, buddy. It was called the Funny Farm then. But it doesn't matter what it's called. Laughing Derby, the Comedy Caravan, thank you. This is my home club, and I'm dang on proud to be here tonight performing for you guys. Pretty excited. I am married. I'm in a mixed marriage. I went to IU. My wife went to UK. And so during basketball season, we take turns screaming at the TV. Now, we're TV babies. She likes to watch, or I like to watch, The Flash, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., The Big Bang Theory. She likes to watch Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, and Dateline, and Snapped. I swear to God, I thought she was trying to kill me. One delicious lasagna at a time, man. But then came March 22nd, 2018. True story. I died. Not like tonight. No, a piece of plaque broke off of my LAD, left anterior descending artery. I went into cardiac arrest. Boom! No pain, no nothing beforehand, but CPR saved me. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation saved my life. And so I decided to pay it forward. I would get certified to perform CPR. You know what their what their little jingle is? Their little slogan. It's dial 911. Push hard, push fast. That slogan again. Dial 911 and push hard, push fast. Yeah. Pushing hard, pushing fast. Some of you guys remember how that was. Pushing hard, pushing fast. So anyway, here's the deal with CPR. They want you to do 100 to 120 percussions per minute. That's a lot. Now, how do you know if you're doing it right? Well, you take the balls of your fist here and you put it 2 inches above where the rib cage ends on the sternum, and you push hard, push fast. And the song they want you to use, one of the first songs they teach you is "Staying Alive" by the Bee Gees. True story. Whether you're a lover, whether you're a brother, you're staying alive, staying alive. Push hard, push fast. So the other song, there's another song they teach you. No, it's not Stairway to Heaven. Jimmy Boone. Nice try, Jimmy Boone. No, it's Another One Bites the Dust by Queen. Another one bites the dust. And another one's going. Oh, don't go. I'm pushing hard. So here's the deal, though. There's one other song. And actually that night, my wife, who is here tonight, She was taught CPR a long time before me, and she used that third song, Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Push hard. Michael, don't push so hard. Okay, it's a little flashback thingy there. Anyway, CPR saved my life, but they took me in, they went through my wrist, they fixed it, but then I wouldn't wake up. For some reason, I wouldn't wake up. So they froze me. They turned me into a Jeff-sicle. Wrapped this shit around me here and here and froze me for 23 hours. And so that I wouldn't shiver, they gave me propofol. That's what they gave Michael Jackson to put him to sleep. I was partying like the king of pop. 23 hours I'm frozen. All I've got going through my head is man in the mirror. So I woke up, all I could do was woo, 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 jump on, woo. I said to my wife, did you take any pictures of me while I was frozen? Because I think that would be cool. Oh no, I was trying to protect your dignity. Man, that ship sailed 30 years ago. Of course, so then I had to go to cardiac rehab. And I'm not saying my nurses were strict, but they all had the same last name. Ratched. Well, anyway, I'm on blood thinners now, and the good part is mosquitoes don't bite me anymore. For the same reason I don't drink light beer. But now that I'm certified to do CPR, if it ever happens again, I can bring myself back, right? No insurance, no deductible needed. And wouldn't that be the ultimate selfie? I'm starting with the click. See, I'm taking a selfie while I'm bringing myself back from the dead. Wake up, people! It's Tuesday night. Well, listen, it's been wonderful coming up here tonight for you. I'll leave you with this one. I grew up in a small town called Cloverdale, Indiana. Anybody ever heard of it?
Yes.
Oh, these poor comedians have heard it for 30 years. So, it's home of the Clovers. Yeah, that helped us a lot when we played football against teams like the Cougars. Because they'd yell, "Go Cougars, tear them up!" And we'd yell, "Go Clovers, stain their pants!" Coach would call time out, he'd say, "Now get in there, boys, and fight like Clovers." So we did. Got mowed down. Thank you, folks. That's my time. Enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jeff Davis. Jeff Davis, come on. We have a special added bonus right now. We're going to introduce a gentleman who used to do comedy a long time ago, and he kind of stopped doing comedy, but he's going to come up here right now. He's an old friend of Amos. Put your hands together for John Hope. John!
Thank you so much. I actually remember when I first met Amos, I thought that he was homeless because every time I saw him, he was hiding behind a dumpster by the back door. Amos was the king of the nod, the knowing nod. If you walked out of a club and saw Amos and went, he was on it. We're here to support SCLRF. I think that's a really nice acronym. It's much better than the one we were working with before, which was Comics Unite Now Together. Couldn't even get it in the Leo. My Amos jokes, and I don't have notes like I'm an artist that the shit is just fresh. It's short-term stuff. Stuff. So I haven't done comedy in a long time. I thought about getting back into it, and here's a joke that I wrote about my cat. My cat likes to sit on the edge of the tub when I shower. Awkward, but I think it's because to a cat, my penis is just overwhelmingly huge, and she can't stop checking it out. Now, my dog is not very impressed, but you know how Chihuahuas are. I'm 50 years old, and I'm single. I've been divorced twice, and so dating, I don't know who's in charge of my sex life. I don't know if it's my brain, my penis, or alcohol. Sometimes it's like they take shifts, and they just punch in randomly. Like, brain and penis get along pretty good. If penis starts acting crazy, brain is like, look, later you can go home and watch stepsister fantasy porn. And penis is like, all right, that's cool. Then alcohol shows up. No, I got a way better idea. Let's call that chick from way back that spilt wine on your carpet and broke your car window. Penis and brain in unison? That is a fucking awesome idea. Get better, buddy.
John, Hope. Yes. I met John the first time in the early 90s around Washington, D.C. With Tom Rhodes. Remember that, John? You had a leather jacket that said Skinny Puppy on the back. Was that right?
No, it said Thrash, Suffer, and Die.
Oh, okay, sorry. There was something about Skinny Puppy. Might have been a shirt. Or something.
I think you guys listened to the tape, but do you remember, Tom, when we saw the anthropologist with the long hair and corduroys, and Tom said,
That guy hasn't evolved since the 70s.
Yes, I do. And Tom is also an old friend of Amos as well. So right now we're going to introduce a guy who's never met Amos, but he's very funny. Put your hands together for a talented young comedian, Danny Hucks. Danny!
For my next joke, my mom likes to remind me that before she had me, she had her tubes tied. So I wasn't just a mistake, I was medical malpractice. I just got my results back from one of those DNA programs. Turns out I'm 37% body fat. The rest is German. My diet consists of all the ingredients competitive cooking shows use to stump their players. It's like, what are we going to do with these pizza puffs? Give them to me. I'll take them. Also, death by lasagna sounds pretty cool. Where do I get that, Jeff? Where? Oh, never mind. I feel like how broke you are is how much you're willing to believe in the paranormal. Your roommates are always like, what happened to my food? We got ghosts. I grew up poor. My parents had to make my costume for Halloween. Every year my mom would tear off a piece of tablecloth and put a trash can on my back, and I'd go as a different Ninja Turtle. Sometimes I want it as Ninja Turtles no one ever heard of. The leopard print Ninja Turtle Bellini. The rainbow Ninja Turtle Caravaggio. This killed with an art crowd. One day my mom, she brought a black mask and a hat, and I went trick-or-treating. The guy at the first store, he's like, what are you supposed to be? I'm Zorro, the Ninja Turtle. Might take a second. One year I dressed in my Sunday best and I went trick-or-treating as a Jehovah's Witness. Excuse me, sir, do you have time to discuss the Word of God and some Reese's Pieces? I had to get a scholarship to go to camp. I got a scholarship to go to asthma camp. Turns out I was pretty good at asthma. I went to a camp called Camp Super Kids, which is a pretentious name for a camp when all the activities are indoors. We sat around a cardboard cut out of a campfire and passed a peace inhaler. We told scary stories, but those were just the next day's pollen count. Funny, you didn't have to clap. Thank you. Last day of camp was great. They brought cake. We didn't get to eat any because no one could blow out the candles. Buckle up, folks. It's worse from here. I helped catch a shoplifter. Now I need a new girlfriend. Feel bad about putting those socks in her purse. I don't do online dating. I had a girl walk up to me once and go, "Ew!" and walk off. That's a swipe left of the real world. Like, I'm lonely. I'm not Waffle House on a holiday lonely. I'm just lonely enough to where I defaulted to my student loans just so someone would show me some interest. A couple of you went to college. Good. I do, however, wish like there was an online dating service for third wheels. Are you a hip couple looking for a best friend? You want to be kept up to date on your favorite TV show while you make out in the corner? Do your kids need an uncle that's less handsy? I got an associate's degree. An associate's degree is where you know just enough to land a job at a liquor store. Yeah, I liked working at the liquor store because the customers there would tell you how they were going to commit the crime. It's like, hey man, hairspray will help you beat that counterfeit pen. Also, here's a 50. My last job, they let me go. They said whenever I did the dishes, I cried too much. And I'm like, hey, I just really care. I hate searching for a job, I really do. Word of advice when you're in the interview and they're like, hey, do you have any questions for us? Don't be like, yeah, do you guys drug test? Answer's always gonna be like, we do now. And I don't do drugs, but I wish I did because people who do have an excuse when they mess up. It's always like, once he gets off that stuff, he's gonna be better. With me, it's always once Danny. Gotta love him. I hate backseat drivers. They're always like, no, let me go. Yeah, guys, you've been great. Give it up for yourself and for the event tonight here. You're laughing for a good cause. Appreciate you guys. I accidentally swiped my Humana card at the grocery store, so my milk came with a $40 copay. My sex life mirrors the availability of the soda pop surge. It started out anywhere and everywhere, and then it had to be purchased online. Now I can only find it in convenience stores in Indiana. I didn't think that was too controversial over in Kentucky. I don't believe in the theory of soulmates. If you're meant to be connected to the same person your entire life, why does your dick fit in other holes? You know, as a kid, a star can't fit in a square, square can't fit in a circle, circle can't fit in a triangle, but if you try, if you give it your all, your penis can fit in every single one of them. I'm saying if we all had geometrical shaped penises, online dating would be so much easier. I am 5'6", 300 pounds. Prefers short strolls to long walks. Penis shaped like a hexagon. Matching hole, please reply. I got such a great laugh from just leaning the mic a little bit. Guess I'm gonna have to start adding that to my set. What if I go this way? Oh, better watch out. I've never seen comedy like this. I'm groundbreaking. Guys, I'm gonna end with this set with a joke. Maybe. It all depends on you guys. I saw a sign, it said walk to stop suicide. Don't you think you're gonna get there too late? Maybe you should drive over. Give me a phone call or something. Guys, I've been Danny House. Thank you.
Danny Hux, come on now. It's Halloween. We're reminded of The Shining. All right. Coming up next. You know, it's interesting. The first gig I ever worked with Amos Chang was at the Hotel Roanoke in Roanoke, Virginia. Any of you guys ever worked that gig? The Hotel Roanoke? Inside the hallways looked exactly like the Overlook Hotel in The Shining. And I was with Amos, and he'd given me the nod. And so we were up all night, and when I came out into the hallway, I could swear I saw those two little girls at the end there waiting for me. Come on, Mike, let's play. All right. Coming up next, another big finalist in the recent Twisted Cork Comedy Contest in Lexington, Kentucky. This gentleman, I'll introduce him the way he introduced me one time. He always cheats at Words with Friends. Mike Chandler! Mike!
All right, how about a nice hand for my old buddy, Mike Nielsen, right there. Give it up for him. And all the comics you've seen so far, John, Misty, Jeff. Did they do good? Were they funny? Yeah, I would have no idea. I was out there telling all those people how funny I'm going to be. So I didn't see him. What about Danny? Did he do good? How about a nice hand for Danny? He did good? I hope not. I gotta follow him, have you noticed? Oh man, I do have this aura about me, don't I? Yeah. Thanks. A lot of people call it B.O. I call it an aura about me. I just started a new band last week. We call ourselves OCDC. We're not that good yet, but we wash our hands after every song. Yeah. Thank you very much. Weird thing happened to me on the way here. This is a true story. I was driving here, rushing to get here. This other guy, I guess coming in the other direction, I guess he had a heart attack or something because he let go of the wheel and grabbed his chest and his car slammed into my car. I saved that guy's life. When I punched him in his face, I got him breathing again. Out of my way, heart attack boy. I gotta go to a free comedy show and tell some jokes to 6 people. And a man on a telephone maybe, if he's still down there. Last night I was up late partying all night and my foot fell asleep. So I took the Sharpie out and drew dicks all over it. Take that, foot. That's what you get, foot. Hey man, you ever try to throw a garbage can away? It's like freaking impossible. They keep throwing it back in your yard. Take it, I don't want it. Oh man, I saw a man drown one time. That was kind of scary. He was all like, help me, oh dear God. And I'm just standing there watching him because I can't swim. Well, I mean, I can swim. It just hadn't been 30 minutes since I'd eaten, so I just couldn't swim then. Is how that happened. The other day I Googled the word deja vu. They had a picture of a guy that looked like me Googling the word deja vu. You ever wonder if Helen Keller even knew it when she died? Oh, I'm sorry. Too soon. My bad. Fucking 100 years ago. Yeah, man. So I just shaved all my pubic hair off today. Yeah, thank you. I'm not trying to be sexy or anything. I'm just already going bald there. That's what you do. I mean, I've tried everything else. I tried growing it real long on one side and combing it over. That just freaks everybody out. I mean, everybody. You can ask anybody. When I was in high school, I was on the debate team. I remember one time the debate was about marijuana, and I was on the pro side. And the anti side went first, and they said, pot makes you tired and stupid and hungry, and it leads to harder drugs. And that was my turn, and I went, oh, that's what I was going to say. Those are good things. Thank you. I'm enjoying a beer tonight. I love the beer. I used to drink whiskey. I had to quit drinking whiskey. Every time I drink whiskey, everybody gets this fucking attitude. I'm like, who the hell punched me in the eye last night? That guy must have been an asshole.
Sorry about that.
All right, dude. Oh, thanks for the help, whoever said that. Really helped out a lot. When I wrote this joke, I was alone in it. So I should have said we on that part. Yeah, man, what else is happening? I just found this out the other day. My little porno machine also makes telephone calls. What? Who'd have thunk it? Porn right there in the palm of your hand. Hell, when I was a kid, we used to have to draw our own porn. I was pretty good at it, too. I couldn't even get halfway through a picture before I lost interest in that picture I was drawing. I can't figure any of this like new technology out. Like, I don't even know what a selfie stick is yet. My wife sent me out for a selfie stick. I came home with a dildo. This section. Dildo Joe. I was fighting with this guy on Facebook because he called me a loser. But he spelled it with 2 O's. He called me a looser. So at least I know how to spell loser. So who's the looser now, loser? And then I don't know what he said after that because my internet got cut off. I think my loser mom forgot to pay our Wi-Fi bill. Now, some of you didn't get that joke because you still got the flip phones. It's hard to fight with somebody on a flip phone. You can't do that. You're like, D-E-F. U. Backspace. Oh, fuck, I just cleared it. I gotta start it. Oh, shit, I'm not even mad anymore. That's how you fight on a flip phone. Do you ever fight somebody on a calculator? Oh yeah, you can go straight to 7734. Read that upside down, bitch. Calculator fight jokes, killing it on a Tuesday night. With that Caravan, baby. Smartphones are making us stupid, aren't they? Nobody knows anybody's number anymore. What are you gonna do next time you get arrested and you get that one phone call? You don't know anybody's number. I'll tell you who I'm calling. Mr. Roof, baby. I know that number, Mr. Roof, all the proof. 1-800 phone Mr. Roof. I'm in jail, honey. Come and get me. Bring some shingles, please. I got a DUI one time. It was kind of embarrassing. I'm ashamed of it. Well, I guess it happens to a lot of people. But not while you're taking the kids to school. You have no idea what it's like to take the sobriety test in front of 40 laughing children. Look at our bus driver. Oh. Bus driver jokes. The other night I had a dream about Molly Ringwald. I woke up with a breakfast chub. I totally put that to you. I'm still there. Are you laughing because I fucked up, or because the breakfast chub is a fucking brilliant joke? Breakfast chub. I have no voice today, sorry. Yeah, what else? I had a weird dream the other night. I dreamed the cops were chasing me. I don't know what I did wrong, but it must have been pretty bad because they were chasing me for some reason. The last thing I remember is they all had me cornered in an alley with their guns on me. I just woke up and laughed to myself because all I could think about was all those cops sitting there going, where the hell did that guy go? You ever have one of those dreams that seems real real to you? Like you find a whole bunch of money or something, and then you wake up and you think you got that money. You're like looking around for it in the bed. It's not there. It's never there. That doesn't work. The only time that does work is when it's pee. You ever find yourself peeing in a dream? You better stay asleep because you're taking that one back to the real world with you. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the show. Good night. That's my turn. It's over.
Mike Chandler, LOL, Mike Chandler, LMBO. All right, folks, we're going to keep the show rolling right along. You guys having a good time? Enjoying yourselves so far? Oh, man, it's good. It's going to be another 3 to 4 hours before we wrap up. But right now, I'm going to introduce a talented young gentleman appearing this week right here at the Caravan as part of Jamie Utley and Friends. He's very funny. He's been on Laughs on Fox. Can you believe it? How about it for Brad Lanning? Brad!
Yeah, Laughs on Fox. That's the clubs and colleges for 2018. That's what that is. So, well, it's good to be here. I'm happy Amos could join us. It's just a damn shame we couldn't get better seats. But I'm here because, man, I love Amos. When I first started out, I was put with Amos quite a bit, opening up for him, and I learned a lot from him. One of the best things that I ever learned from Amos was like when you're in the car together with Amos, like with another comedian, I learned directly from Amos that it is perfectly fine for you to talk shit about everybody else that's not in that car. Like that was like such a great lesson. Like I know who Amos hates, who he really hates, like who stole from him, like everything. A lot of you guys might want to leave. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. Amos, is that okay to say? I'm sorry. I didn't know that was incompetence. Okay. Well, I'm eating shit here at the benefit dinner, whatever this is. Glad I left my kids on the street during Halloween Eve to be here. They changed Halloween. You can do that. I had no idea that you could do that. Like, I mean, some years things don't go as planned. Like one year my brother was a fat jogger, He had like gray sweatpants on. They were way too big. My mom like stuffed him full of like newspapers and pillows and blankets and stuff. And who knew it was gonna be 85 degrees that year? Like the kid almost died, but he did it. You know, like he stayed in the character. He hung in there with Halloween, even though it didn't go as planned. How long's this show been going on before I got here? Is this like 3 days? Has this been like a dance marathon? Like have people died and left? I mean, like what's happened? It's like, yeah, you all have like numbers on. Like we'd like to congratulate pair number 57 for hanging in there since last Thursday. Well, I don't know. It's fun being here. I did leave my kids. They're, you know, they're like, older too. They're starting to get older now. They didn't need me for the last few legs there of Halloween Eve. Yeah. I'm starting to watch movies with my kids, like from my childhood. You know, like we were watching Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark just a while back, and I'm sitting there with my 8-year-old boy and my 6-year-old girl, and we get to one of these scenes where Indy and Marion, like they're on this boat together and they're in bed, and Marion's got the blankets pulled up over her chest, and she reaches up and grabs her nightgown, and my 6-year-old girl goes, "Great, now she's pregnant." And I'm like, "What did you just say?" Like you don't know what you're talking about. Like I mean, like you obviously haven't been watching the movie. I mean, have you seen how many jams this guy's gotten out of? I mean, like you think he's gonna slip up now? Are you telling me you don't think Indiana Jones knows when to pull out? Like watch the movie. You think this guy's gonna get strapped with 3 kids, a wife, and a mortgage? Like, nah, you got stuff to dig up. There's a lot of hard things to explain in that movie to little kids, though. We're watching that movie, and the Nazis are in that movie, you know, and like they get the Ark and they're marching it out to the desert. They're going to open it up and test it out. And they got like the flags up while they're marching. And my 8-year-old boy, he goes, "What are those flags? I've never seen those flags before. What's that symbol in the middle of the flag? That's kind of a cool symbol. I think I'm going to start drawing that." And I'm like, "No, don't start drawing that." I quickly gave him just like the fastest summary of World War II of all time. I'm like, first of all, those guys, they belonged to a group. They had a crazy leader. He killed a whole bunch of people that didn't deserve it. We probably should have stopped him a lot sooner, but we had to wait until some people that didn't look like us bombed us. Plus, you kind of take after your mom. I mean, you got blonde hair and blue eyes. Trust me, it's a bad look if you start drawing that. Like, that's a definite call home from the principal. I watch that movie a lot differently now, too. Like, I watch it through, like, 2018 eyes. Like, the first scene in that movie, like, Indy flies into the South American rainforest, and he's looking for that little bitty golden fertility idol. And it's in this cave, and as soon as he walks into the cave immediately starts trying to kill him. There's like arrows shooting at him. He's got like a pit. He's got to like do the whip over, like swing over. It's got like spikes at the bottom of it. And someone's taken the time to arrange a giant round boulder at the top of the cave just in case someone comes and tries to take this thing to crush him. It's like, man, can't you tell that the indigenous people here don't want you to take their stuff? I mean, these are some pretty clear indicators, but he takes it, the ball comes down, it's going to crush him. He runs out of the cave, he dives out into the rainforest, and sure enough, there they all are. Standing there, they got their spears and their bow and arrows, and he's like, "No, no! Like, this belongs in a museum! Like, where white people can pay to see it! Like, you can't even get souvenirs here! Like, all you get here is malaria and fire ant bites in your taint. This place sucks. Like, you're stealing our religion." He's like, "Grow up!" Thank you. Saddest applause break ever. That was great. I mean, no, it just sounded weird. The kids are starting to get a little bit older, so my wife and I, we decided it's time to start taking them to church, you know, because we want to scare them. Well, the elf on the shelf works so well. I mean, it's the same basic principle. I mean, like, you know how this, like, if you don't behave yourself, this little guy, he makes sure that you don't get presents from Santa. Well, this guy burns you forever. Eat your green beans. So like we were like looking around for churches and stuff, and like we like went to one of her friends' churches, and they had something there that I'd never experienced before because I was raised Catholic, you know. But they had this thing there at this church. It was called Kids Church, where you like take the kids into a totally different place and they have a totally different experience. We didn't have that growing up Catholic. I mean, like church was a place you went with your parents once a week to learn how to be quiet for an hour. You know? And it was also like an exercise in patience for your parents because they didn't want to just beat you right there in a crowded church. I mean, they had to wait, you know. I mean, like they had to wait until they either got you home, or they got you to that soundproof chamber in the back of the church designed for wailing infants and wailing on kids ages 3 to 13. Like that's what that room was for. So like we walk into the kids' church and we're on this like big metal platform and they had some steps to get down to like where you check in your kids in the main area. But the way that they had for the kids to get down to the main area was one of those giant yellow like tornado tunnel slides like they have at McDonald's in the playground, you know. And I walked in, I was like, oh man, this religion has a slide? Like, this is going to be a way tougher sell than the church I grew up in. I mean, when I take them to the church that I grew up in, the first thing they're going to see is a guy nailed to a cross that looks like one of the Allman Brothers. Like, I think they're going to like slide church a lot better, you know? So, like, we walk in, and, like, my little boy, he sees this slide. He knows exactly what it is, like, what it has to offer, and he didn't even hesitate. He just hit it. He was like, woohoo, I'm a Baptist! I'm like, oh, no! So I had to like run down the steps and catch him at the bottom of the slide. I was like, yo, this is a trap. Like this is literally the most fun you're ever going to be allowed to have at this church. Like I know it looks like Chuck E. Cheese in here, but Daddy can't get a beer. This place is lame, bro. Like let me put a fish sandwich, a mini bingo card, and a domestic light beer in your hand, and I'll show you God. Well, this is fun being here at the club. A lot of the shows that I do like aren't like actually at clubs, you know. Like I was doing a show at in Sellersburg, Indiana, at a place called the 812 Taco Bar and Grill. I'm not bragging. That's just where I'm at. But it's one of these places, like it's like one of the shows like where there's gonna be like 10 comedians on the show. It's gonna take like 3 hours. Like it was in July. The place didn't have air conditioning, you know. And the kind of place it was, like it's a place in southern Indiana, a bar that serves Mexican food, and they had Confederate flags on the wall. So it's like, you know, we like tacos, but we don't like everything. You know? So I do my set on this show, and I finish up. I go out to my car and I cry a little bit, and then I pull out of the parking lot, and about 50 feet outside the parking lot, my rear view mirror just fills up with red and blue lights, and I'm like, oh no, I'm getting pulled over, and I've been drinking beer in this redneck cantina for the last 3 hours, and I'm in southern Indiana. Like, I could be on live PD. You know, they filmed that show over there. You know the show I'm talking about? Yeah. Yeah, I call it Methflix. Pretty accurate. So I'm like sitting there and I'm waiting for the guy to come up to the window, and he comes walking up there and he's like, so how you doing tonight? And I love that question, coming from someone that can legally take you somewhere that's famous for people being sodomized against their will. Like, how are you doing? So I told him how I was doing. I'm like, I'm just fine, officer. How are you this evening? Thank you for your service. If I was in the NFL, I would totally stand for the national anthem. Like, I was just panicking, pandering, just telling this guy anything he wanted to hear. And he's like, so where are you coming from tonight? And I'm thinking, dude, you just saw me pull out of the only bar in this town on 99-cent margarita comedy night. Like, I think you know where I'm coming from. He's like, well, like, do you know why I pulled you over? I'm like, I think I just covered that, like, because you saw me pull out. And he's like, so have you been doing any drinking? I'm like, well, I've had like 3 beers, but I mean, I've been there for like 3 hours and they don't have air conditioning, so I've been sweating them out. So he's like, okay, sit tight. So he goes back to his car, and about 30 seconds after he gets back there, 3 more cop cars pull up, and they've all got their lights on, and I'm like, well, I'm the star of the show now, I guess. I mean, like, if that many cops show up, like, there's no way that you're not going to have to blow. Like, hopefully just the breathalyzer. Like, I don't know the rules over there, how many get out of it. So I'm waiting for them, and I'm like panicking, and I'm like, God, I gotta do something. So I look up, and my sunroof is open. So I just start taking these deep breaths and just blowing them out the sunroof. I'm like, just like trying to get all the bad alcohol air out. Like I don't know if it's scientifically correct, but you know, at least I'm taking some kind of action. Like I'm, you know, proactive at this point. So, like, they all come up to the thing, and they got the breathalyzer, and, like, they're just waiting to arrest me. And they give me the breathalyzer to blow, and I give, like, 2 of the most half-hearted blows you've ever seen. You know, I'm like, like, well, I've been hyperventilating for the last 5 minutes on purpose, so I didn't have much left. So they're like, come on, man, you got to do a little bit better than that. And so they give me the breathalyzer. I hit it, like, just as I'm about to hit this thing hard, like, one of my oldest friends in comedy, a guy I was just on the show with at the taco bar, he starts calling my phone. And this guy, he's like a 6'3" black guy. And when he calls my phone, it's a picture of us at my 40th birthday party. And I'm drunk, and I'm hugging him, and my head is just resting ever so gently on his chest. Like, I used to think it was adorable. Now it just looks damning. You know, like the guy's like, he's like, what am I arresting here? Like some alcoholic homosexual that's really into tall black dudes? Like, all 3 of which might still be illegal in Sellersburg, Indiana. Like, I don't know what year it is over there. I mean, you could still smoke inside at the taco bar. Like, they're a little behind, you know? Plus, this guy might be thinking he's doing me a favor after looking at that picture. Like, oh, you're really into tall black dudes? I'll show you where we keep them all here in southern Indiana. Like, they just come back this way. So, like, they give me the breathalyzer, and like, I finally blow into this thing, and it registers, and I blow under whatever the legal limit is there for a clean-cut white boy. It was probably like .33 or something. And the guy's like, hell, 33? That's Larry Bird's number. Get on out of here, boy. Like, be careful driving home. I don't know. That would have just been stressful, like on my marriage, you know? Like, that, what does it cost to get out of a DUI? Like 10 grand or something like that? I don't need that. There's too much stuff out there that can hurt a marriage. Like, I've heard people say that pornography can ruin a marriage. I don't know if that's true. I mean, it can be kind of fun if you watch it together. I mean, if you can pull that off, you know? Which isn't hard. Like, it's not hard to convince a woman to watch pornography with you. The hard part is trying to act like, once you convince her to go to one of these websites, the hard part is, like, trying not to act like you're not an absolute master at navigating the sites. I mean, normally I'm like Bobby Fischer playing chess or a deer running through the forest. Like, this is beautiful. I was born to do this. Like, I'm an artist. I will say this, though. If you're a married man and you're looking to enjoy some pornography in the privacy of your bathroom, like on your smartphone, you better make damn sure all your Bluetooth-capable speakers are turned off. That was just the worst Thanksgiving ever. I swear. Hey, thank you all for coming out right here tonight.
Good job, Brad. Brad Lanning. Brad Lanning. All right, folks. Right now we're going to introduce a gentleman who is an old friend of mine. We worked together the first time in the mid-'80s in Sebring, Florida. You might remember that. We survived bullets whizzing past our heads. And he's a very talented comedian, a Louisville favorite, a legend here in town. How about a hand for my buddy, Bob Batch? Bob!
Mike Nielsen, great. I'm glad you remember where I've been. I don't remember where I've been. That's good. Thanks, guys. Hey, thanks for coming here. Man, I quit driving. Can't drink and drive. Got to give them something else. Something. Got pulled over one of the cops and made me walk the dog. It was the canine cops. Okay, we'll start over. How many came here because they had nothing better to do? Okay, me too. Me too. You got nothing better to do. Get on the phone, call those Jehovah's Witnesses. Tell them, come on over. Get them in the house, lock the door, sell them Amway. Old joke, yes. Well, guys, I have quit driving. I'm taking the bus now a lot. Anybody ever take the bus in Louisville? It's like crazy damn people on the bus. The most incredible people are the bus drivers. They don't put up with any bullshit. I was waiting for the bus the other day, and this guy walks up, and he's got like a boa constrictor around his neck, and he just came from the soft serve ice cream place. You know, he got the soft serve ice cream, and the snake is licking the soft serve ice cream. I don't know, this is just really weird. The bus pulls up, and he's going to get on the bus, you know, and the bus driver's like, you can't get on the bus with that. He says, this is my service sound. He goes, I was talking about the ice cream. Thank you, it's a new one. Thank you, just for you guys. Well, let's see, I lost my house, and that big storm came through a while back. Let's see, it was the one before Katrina, A, B, C, D, foreclosure, that was the one. That was a bastard. Go down the street, might take 8 or 10 houses, leave the rest of them right there. Didn't hurt my house at all, just blew all my shit out in the street, I can't get it back in. Try to get money from the government on that. I called FEMA, all those assholes. They gave all the money to a bunch of damn hillbillies. Gave it to Ellie Mae, Fannie Mae, Ginnie Mae, Freddie Mac. Oh, good. Financial joke, thanks. Thanks for staying with me. Oh, wow. Well, where are we going to go? Are we going to take this thing on the road, I think? We're just starting here, and then we're just going to go up and down the street like it's the night before Halloween, right? Yeah, maybe we can get, by tomorrow night, we'll have like a couple million people. Just, yeah. And then, I don't know, we can march to Washington. I don't know, it seems like the thing to do. Everybody's marching to Washington. And is that where those guys are coming? They're going to? They're coming up from Guatemala or something? And they're going to march to Washington? Is that what they're going to do? You don't know. You guys are not answering me. Okay, I'll have to think of my stuff myself. I'll think of it myself. Well, I guess we'll get into this. Anybody have a garden? Okay, how about a legal garden? Okay, all right. I want to tell you about my garden. I was growing squash for a couple of years. I had a really good squash crop. It was growing really good. I go to pick it, it's gone. I grow good squash, go to pick it, it's gone. 2 years in a row. Finally this year I said, I'm not going to let this happen. I put a tent out in my yard, and I slept in the tent all through the month of September, all this far into October. Halfway through October, one morning about 3 o'clock, I get this rustling in my garden. It wakes me up. Stick my head out of the tent, and I look into my squash, and there's Sasquatch. Sasquatch is in my squash. Sasquatch eating my squash. I'm watching Sasquatch eat my squash. Found out something, Sasquatch won't eat squash until he washes it first. So now I'm watching Sasquatch wash my squash. Because I wanted to know, how much squash would Sasquatch wash if Sasquatch would wash squash? I don't know, because he's being spooked away by some woodchucks. They're chucking wood at him. We don't know how much wood a woodchuck will chuck. If a woodchuck would chuck wood, we don't know what squash Sasquatch will wash if Sasquatch would wash squash. But we do now know that a woodchuck will chuck enough wood to spook Sasquatch off from washing squash. Yeah. So if you got trouble with your squash, get a woodchuck. So that's what I thought. I went and got some woodchucks. I got them from Oklahoma. This little company on the internet called Okie Woodchuck Company. And I guess you need to know something about Oklahoma to understand this joke. So they had over 400 earthquakes there last year due to all the fracking that was going on out there. Which I thought was pretty weird until I realized that fracking is not a euphemism. It's just like a way to get oil out of a shale rock formation, but putting water into it. It's called fracking. Anyway, you need to know that for the next... Don't worry, it'll come up later. Yeah. Except for the woodchucks, they came about a week later, a big crate full of woodchucks from the Okie Woodchuck Company. Put them out in the garden. They're out there, they're chucking wood. Sasquatch is nowhere inside. I think things are okay. I can actually go on vacation for a couple of weeks. I left, I came back, and there's Sasquatch in my garden, and he's washing squash. The woodchucks are there, but they're not chucking, they're fucking. I got a bunch of worthless, no good, non-chucking fucking woodchucks. So I called the Okie Woodchuck. I said, what the hell's going on? It's like spring break for woodchucks out here. Sasquatch is all over my garden. Did you say Sasquatch? I said, yeah, Sasquatch's in my garden. I got the woodchucks to get rid of him. They said, hey, we got to come check this out. So they said, we'll be there tomorrow. Well, before they got there, I want you to know this did not go unnoticed by the academic community. Some guys showed up from Texas A&M, the agriculture department. They were interested also in Sasquatch. They came out, they saw him, they freaked out. So next day the Okies get there. They look around, I see your problem with the woodchucks, but this Sasquatch thing, you know there's probably oil under here. We should probably drill for oil. So now the Okies are fracking, the garden is quaking, the Aggies are freaking, the woodchucks are fucking not chucking, and Sasquatch is washing my squash. That's all I have to say about that. Okay, that's good. You guys are hilarious. I tell you what, so, are anybody on the Bambi Walk? Are we doing that? Maybe we could do that. We could just start there and come back here. Maybe we'd have more people by then. We could start the Bambi Walk, just bring them in here. The Bambi Walk, oh, for those of you who don't know, it's like you start at a bar down here, and then you just go from bar to bar. You end up at a jail down here. It's a great thing to do if you got family in from out of town. They don't have to stay with you. Yeah, you just get them up in the morning, you make bail, and get them to the wedding or wherever you're going. Bandy walk, just fun stuff you can do in Louisville. We got great stuff. Tourists come to Louisville. They go downtown, they go to the Bat Museum, they leave with a baseball bat. That's one of the reasons it's safe for tourists in Louisville. We arm them. We'll walk downtown, you'll see it. Oh man, let's see what's going on. Well, you guys, let's see. Well, we have any married people here? I guess we could do that. No, you know, a few of you married. Yeah, I know everybody in the crowd. It's incredible. Let's just talk to you. Thanks for coming. Good to see you again. See you at Christmas. There you go. Yeah, yes. I can't see past here, and I don't see anyone here, so maybe I'm doing this by myself. I don't know. All right, that's good. Caravan Comedy Club. Oh, all right, we know where we are now. That's good. All right. I guess we'll do this. I'll show you this then. I want you to go along with me. Can you hear that okay? Yeah. We have to get a sound check. It's a cow in a can. Wait. I am a man of constant sorrow. I've known trouble all my days. Be happy. I'm happy. Hey, Mr. Drove to Wisconsin last summer. Hey, Mr. Dairyman, bring back the cattle. Bring them home because they want to hear. Saw a sign that said fresh frozen beef. What does that mean? Last thing this cow remembers is a chill coming over him. Woo, it's cold. I'd like to apologize to Paul Simon. Man walks on the stage, reaches in his pocket, pulls out some cans. There's cows inside there, foreign cows. They have a short span of attention. Turn them upside. You can be my bodyguard. I will be your long lost you like this better than jokes, don't you? Okay. My girlfriend was a big girl. I can't remember the big girl jokes. That's what she fell in the Ohio River and flooded in Canada. Army Corps of Engineers declared her a dam. Pretty damn good size one. Everybody had to leave her. She got stuck between the parallel bars in gym class. Uneven parallel bars. It's an Allen wrench joke. Get that word. She's a big girl but popular. We used to get drunk on weekends and tip her over. Cow tipping? Anybody ever done that? Yeah. 3 rules for cow tipping, actually. 3 rules. First rule, very important. Find a cow that's not paying a lot of attention. That's very important. Number 2, very important. Push the cow from the side. And most important, just what do people like, you know, I did that joke in New York. They're like, what do you do then? Run, dumbass. It pisses them off, see? Okay, enough of that. We'll put that away. Let's see what else we're going to do. We'll come up with something. Let's see. Guys, what do you guys want to talk about now? I know you all know me, so... Is there a bit that I'm forgetting? No, okay, we'll just... Oh, man, I went to college, 7 years, associate degree, surfboard mechanics. We'll talk about that, I guess. Anybody go to college? Danny mentioned that earlier. Yeah, college. Oh, they're applauding. Where did you go to college? You didn't go to college. Good. Did you get to go to like a school to learn how to do something?
Braniff International Airlines.
You went to Braniff International Airlines School?
Yes.
Wow. So you're like flying planes now, or?
No, I was a flight attendant.
Flight attendant?
Yes.
Yes. That's a cool job. You get to travel anywhere you want, right? No. No. Just wherever Braniff goes. Where's Braniff go?
They don't anymore.
They don't anymore. That's bad. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Can't you like get to another airlines? I mean. No. No, once you work at Braniff, it's here. The rest of them can't use you. Is that the way that works?
No, I'm retired.
You're just retired. You don't have to anymore. You just got money, you don't need it. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. How does that work when you go to that school? It's like a couple of weeks, or throw you on a plane, or?
No, it's government run.
Government run.
Yeah, you have to pass the test.
You have to go to a government run school to be a flight attendant.
Yes.
But you can't do stuff like that. That guy that just threw the guys off and stuff like that. There was a guy in the news a while back. Remember him?
Yeah.
He just, that's it, I quit and just leave. He took the chute. Which you know you gotta want to do the chute sometime. I mean, if it's there, you gotta, yeah, and you know it's there. When you're leaving, that's fuck, I'm out of here. I'm doing the chute. Gotta give that guy credit. Well, that's all right. Most people, what's cool is you got a job, you learn how to do something, you did the job. Most people go to college, they get a degree in something, and they end up doing something else. I had a guy on my show one time, real proud of his education. Where'd you go to school? Texas A&M. What'd you major in? Theater. You're not laughing. You're not thinking about the job opportunities for Texas A&M theater majors. I'm seeing do Hamlet. To be or not to be? That's your whole damn question. There. Whether 'tis nobler to suffer the slangs and arrows, outrageous misfortune. Never seen Hamlet before, but pretty sure he's not supposed to be wearing gun belts and a sombrero. College is difficult. Our classes at American universities taught by people that don't speak English. I had to take this class called Quantitative Business Analysis. I have no idea what that means. Took it 3 times. I don't know how to cheat using graphs, something like that. Walk in first day, my teacher's already writing on the board. Back to the left. Very important. We skal also være klar til at give mig der ikke test tomorrow. Still trying to get my pen to work. What the hell is he talking about? Well, it's okay, we have it on tape. Well, okay, let's hear it. John is dead. John is dead. He spoke no English, I spoke no calculus. It took me 8 weeks to explain what a drop ad card was. Okay, one more time. You have to sign this so I don't have to come here anymore. Okay, look here. Here's a couple of bucks and a hostage. You sign me up, Marky. I learned nothing in college. I went there for the wrong reasons. I went to a sexual revolution on the college campus. Anybody heard about this? You know, maybe you saw it on the History Channel. It's a lie. It never happened. It's something your parents made up because they wanted you to go to college. Yeah, real sexual revolutions at home. Mom and dad having a great time now that you've gone away to college. Don't believe that? You send for money, you get it. Reason you're getting it, dad's getting it, mom's getting it. There you have it, right there. What do they tell you when you're in school? Just stay in school. Just stay in school. All right, let's back it up. Anybody have a Kentucky high school education? A few of you. Okay, thanks for helping. I know you've seen the act before. This is like a rehearsal in front of the cast, is what this is. Yes. It's hilarious. Yes. Their time-honored Kentucky high school educational traditions are unlike any other state. We're very proud of these things and we don't want to change them. What I'm talking about, of course, is when it snows, you don't go to school. That's important. People actually move here from out of states and they're confused by this and upset. Like, well, how do we make up all those extra days? We don't do that. Well, how do we keep up with the rest of the country? We don't do that either. But what better way to learn the name of all the counties on your home state? Kids get up early to watch it on TV. Right there, Allen, Anderson, Ballard, Barron, Bass, Bell, Boone, Carter, Carter, Casey, and Jefferson. Yes! Woo! You gotta call the radio station to make sure. Hello, WHS, Zeiske? That's a kid talking to a disc jockey. WHS, Zeiske? In case you're from out of town, he's saying, is there school? Zeiske? No, Mike! Prepares you for life as an adult here in Kentucky. What do we do in Kentucky when it snows? First thing you do is you get out of what you're driving and you leave it where it is. You don't need that anymore. You survey the horizon and get to the nearest liquor store and carry home as much as you can. Oh, yeah. We had a big blizzard. I'm going to tell you about this blizzard, guys. This happened in '97. It happened way back in the 1900s. The blizzard here. It was snowing all the way from Minnesota to Louisiana. Kentucky was about 28 degrees. They were closed. We're just closed. We do that here. It's like 28 degrees. We're closed. Everything's shut down, man. Now, I was in Minnesota when this happened. I was with my wife's family. They're from Minnesota. Anybody ever been up there? Minnesota? Yeah. You guys? You're like, yeah. So like it's It's like 45 below zero up there, and they're still outside doing stuff. How can I describe Minnesota? They don't go fishing till the lake freezes. Yeah, I guess one winter they got crazy. One guy probably trying to kill himself. He was probably really crazy drunk. Went out on the lake and just went, "Hey, it's okay. Come on out." And they go out on the lake and they drill a hole in the lake, which it's not called a hole in Minnesota. It's called a hole. Drill a hole in the lake. And they fish through the hole all winter, and they freezing their ass fishing through the hole, drinking beer. And they don't fish anymore when the lake thaws out because they can't remember where the hole is. Yeah. Because their brain's not really connected to the spinal cord the way it should be. I'm convinced this, because it's 45 below zero, and we're outside looking at ice sculpture in the park. Oh, look, there's the dog. Oh, yeah, how about that? Oh, that's nice. Look there. Oh, yeah. That's it, I've had it. I run to the car. I'm leaving. I'm going to go home. I start the car. Of course, the car doesn't start. I called AAA. The guy showed up. Well, that's not happening here. But up there, 45 degrees below zero, AAA shows up. Guy's got the little floppy-eared hat on thing. He's got a real attitude, too. He's like, you know, you need to start your car every 45 minutes in weather like this. I'm like, you start my car once, I'm going home. He got me started. I drove to Minnesota, 45 below zero, road's fine. Drove to Wisconsin, no problem. Part of Illinois, no big deal. From the top of Indiana to the bottom of Indiana, no problems. Right across the bridge into Kentucky, and there's a state cop right there. We're closed. Kentucky's closed, it's snowing. You're going to have to get your car out of the way, though. People are trying to carry beer down the street. That's going to be it for me, guys. Let's hear it. Mike Nielsen.
Bob Batch, ladies and gentlemen, come on now. All right, we appreciate you guys hanging in. Our final comic for the evening, good friend of ours, came all the way from Ohio. Way to go, Ohio. Put your hands together for a good friend of ours, Mr. Dennis Piper. Dennis.
All right, let me just get set up here. How's everybody? My name is Dennis Piper. This is my job, stand-up comedy. So I guess I should go ahead. Let me turn my clock on so we can see how long we're going. Good. This is my job. We'll call it 9 o'clock. I'm on the clock. Let's go to work. Oh, gonna be a long day today. Thank you, Jesus. Ah, what a great job. Drunk every night, say stupid things. I should be in Congress. Thank you, all three of you. Very good. We're moving on. Tell you about myself. I'm going bald. I admit that freely. My wife says it's because she's always on my mind. And I'm like, well, that would explain why there's no hair on my ass, then, wouldn't it? It's a great laugh. Sit closer, I'll give you money. I'm half Irish, half German, which means, which explains a lot, which explains why I like to get drunk and then steal artwork from my French neighbors. Tell you more about myself. I have an identical twin sister. Yeah, she's not thrilled about the size of our penis either. See, identical twin sister, never mind. Okay. All right, we'll try that one again. So, I'd like a public service announcement, brief public service announcement. The pot pies at Kroger's are bullshit. There's nothing in them but meat, vegetables, and gravy. It's false advertising, bullshit. You eat 6 of them, you aren't stoned at all. Horrible. I was going to go until somebody over here laughed. So I get that. So I listen to folk music. That way when junkies break into my car, I know they won't steal the CDs. Old Crow Medicine Show. God, no. Junkie, but I got taste. So what else is going on? I'm married. I've been married now 41 years. If I'd have killed her when I first thought about it, I would already be off of parole. Thank you. Guy came up the other day and said, "You look familiar." I go, "You watch a lot of old porn, don't you?" That's where you know me from, yeah. I like the people in the grocery store now, man. Remember they used to always say, have a nice day? Now they don't even say that. They go, have a good one. Like, well, the lady last night, it was a good one, you know. I mean, pretty good one last night with the girls, but how'd you find out? Or when they go, you want a bag. I'm like, well, I bought some weed last night, but I'll look at your product, you know. I was looking for another connection here, dude. So, I wasn't always in comedy. Before I got into comedy, I was in medicine. I lost my license for having sex with a patient. That's rare for a veterinarian. Yeah, that ferret was a squealer. Woo, break time. Work. I got a great day job right now, I sure do. I work as a procrastinating psychic. I just predict shit that's already happened. Kicking Nostradamus' ass. Oh, so I'm getting forgetful. I'm 66 years old, and I'm forgetful. It's just that way. I mean, like, I'll be sitting on the couch, and I'll go, man, I need to trim my fingernail before I play my guitar. And I will walk all the way down the hall to the bedroom, into the bathroom, turn the light on, and then stand there for 5 minutes going, son of a bitch, what did I come in here? And then I go, well, I might as well floss while I'm here. And you don't remember what it is until your ass is back on the couch and you go, oh, God damn it. If you do that more than 3 times, it's weed. Yeah, and I'm at that age now where I'm forgetful, and I don't know if it's the onset of Alzheimer's or it's because I've smoked so much weed. Either way, I'm smoking a lot more weed these days. Because like I'll get it out and then forget if I've smoked it already or not. So I roll another one just to make sure, you know. I do that sometimes 4 or 5 times a morning. Yeah, I may do it here in a few minutes too. I was at this cocktail party. This is how forgetful I am. I was at this cocktail party a couple weeks ago. I'm in the kitchen. I'm pouring myself another drink, and I start flirting with the hostess of the party. You know, we're starting one thing leads to another. Pretty soon I'm making out with her. I got my hand up her blouse, and bam! I get hit on the back of the head. It's my wife going, "You're still married." I'm like, God, I knew I was forgetting something. Shit. So what else is going to probably tell by looking you realize I'm a bodybuilder. Just right now I'm building a cranky old bastard. I am on time and under budget. I wear diapers. I wear Depends diapers. I admit it at my age. I'm not ashamed of it. Nothing wrong with me. I'm just lazy. Yeah, I'm in a football game. I never miss the big play because I'm in the bathroom, you know. I can pee whatever I want. It's weird. And you know, getting old. And what I figured out as I'm getting older is when you go bald, your hair, it doesn't really go anywhere but to another part of your body. It's retiring. That's pretty much what it is. Your hair has said, screw it, I worked 50 years up here keeping the sun off him. I'm moving somewhere. Now, some of them don't move far. You know, they move to the ears, the nose. A lot of them, for some reason, you know, like the outside of the ears. Which, how the hell do you stay on? I don't know, but they do. But most of them, like most old people, they move south. They do. I've now got pubic hair that goes from my navel to my knee. And at my age, it is all taken on the consistency of speaker wire. Yeah, my wife has to wear goggles now when we make love. Poke your eye out, kid. And this is the great thing. I love telling that joke because this is the last generation of audiences that will get that joke because speaker wire is disappearing. Pretty soon everything's going to be Bluetooth. You know, someday my grandkid will see a tape of me going, "Grandpa, what's speaker wire?" "Well, let me show you, you little bastard." Woo, break time. Work. Woo, I got a great day job right now. I really do. I truly do. I sell life insurance to schizophrenics. I've only got 11 clients, but this year I've already sold 83 policies. Big Ralphie dies, I'm a millionaire, man. I'm the beneficiary on half his policies.
Yeah, Camp and Restaurant.
I'm sorry, too. Was that Amos heckling me? You can't find your pee bottle? Get a diaper. Man, that's what the hell I'm doing. Here, you could fill this up for me, Amos. I'm about halfway empty. Here. I'm married. I mentioned that I got 2 lovely daughters. I have a 39-year-old daughter named Valerie and a 12-year-old daughter named Surprise! Yeah, you learn though, first kid to the second. Like the first kid, on the hospital bill there was a $355 charge for a pre-operative shave for my wife. $355. Second kid, we stopped at Great Clips on the way to the hospital. $8, you know. And the guy refused the tip. He's like, no, I'm enjoying the work today. So, would you guys rather just listen to Amos talk to the nurse about his pee bottle? I think that might actually... I like Jeff. I'm also a military veteran. I was in the United States Navy. Proud to say. To this day, I still consider it the best 19 days of my life. I got in trouble. They wanted me to shine my own shoes. I'm like, you know, there's a guy at the airport who's a professional. He'll do it much better than I could. I mean, really a waste of my time, don't you think? Apparently not. Okay. If these sons of bitches had showed up, they'd have laughed their ass off. I just want you to know. I'm not worried about it at all. Oh, hot damn, I'm halfway done. It's lunchtime. All right. Yeah, I learned this when I worked on the assembly line at General Motors. Yeah, this is why GM means get a mechanic. Oh, that's good. Here's to you guys for coming out and supporting live stand-up comedy, The Bastard Challenge. Thank you all very much. Because if you guys didn't do this and support this comedy, I'd have to get a regular job, and believe me, nobody wants to see me in front of a classroom again. Well, the judge says it's a restraining order, I think are the words. Don't drink and drive. That's my job. I'm good at it. I am. I'm really good at it. So, I live in Oxford, small college town. I love Oxford. It's a great little college town. Except my phone number there is one number different from Bruno's Pizza. So I get drunken college kids all the time calling me for pizza. I'm such a prick, I take the order. Pizza? You're goddamn right we got pizza. What kind did you want? A large sausage. That's cool. You want links or patties? That is a tough question, I agree. Why don't you put the bong down, ask somebody else. Oh, I should tell you this, we got a special tonight. You order 2 toppings on that large pizza, we'll send you a free 12-pack of Budweiser. No, I don't care how old you are, man. Double sausage, you're damn right that's 2 items. Delivery address? Cool. And your phone number. Hey, I'll be there in about 30, 35 minutes with your beer and your pie. Yeah, represent. You know, so he thinks it's real. And then I go down to the basement to my office. Well, it's not really an office per se. What it is, it's the half of the ping pong table that's not covered with laundry supplies and my wife's old underwear. But that's my office, okay, it's my space. And I'll sit down there and roll a fatty and smoke it, and then 30 minutes later I call that guy back. Hey, listen, man, we made your pizza. It looks so damn good we ate it. I'll tell you what's worse, asshole, we drank all your beer, too. Well, no, you still owe us $14.85. Well, that's an interesting suggestion. And if I could do that, I'd have a real nice job at Cirque du Soleil. Well, you're a foul-mouthed little bastard, aren't you? What am I going to do about it? How about this? How about I come over to your house right now and just kick your ass? Well, you dumbass, you gave me your address 30 minutes ago. And that's when I called the Oxford Police and reported the methamphetamine lab at that location. Take it to Kent State, dickhead, you're not graduating. Break time, work. I got a really cool day job right now, I sure do. Great day job. I sell chicken wings at cockfights. Oh, you're damn right they're fresh. Hey, when there's only 8 people, I'll wait on one guy to finish his laugh. Yeah, the bone might be broken, but hell, who eats the bone? Not my old lady. Yeah, dick jokes. Yeah. That was a triangular dick joke. Just, heck, never mind. 20 minutes ago, what am I thinking? Oh, I carry a list with me too, because I'm so forgetful, you know, and I even forget, oh hell, sometimes I even forget what the jokes mean. Have you seen this? You have Tractor Supply here, Farm and Fleet, those stores? Yeah. They're now selling, they sell the Realtree camouflage clothing, right? They're now selling, Realtree is now selling camouflage lingerie. This is true. You know, when you want your bush, you know, to look like a bush. I think, Danny, I think you're right. Just tilt the microphone a little and stand here, and they'll kind of give them around for you a little. I know. Maybe what else would you wear that for? You're dating a druid. See, druids worship trees. I'm a reformed druid. I just worship the bush. Okay. Boy, sometimes you wish you had the 10-minute slot, you know? It's just like now the laughter's just like one after the other, like pity laugh, pity laugh, pity laugh. So, I'm married. My wife's all worried about my health because I don't take care of myself. I drink, I smoke. She's all like, you know, what are you going to do when the doctor tells you have 6 months to live? Well, I told her I was going to go move in with her mother. You know, that way it'll be like the longest 6 months of my life. Yeah. I just had a birthday, and so I had a birthday, and my wife had a party, and my mother-in-law came to the party, drove her Chrysler, because apparently, get this, it was too windy to bring the broom. She bought me a digital camera. I've never had one before. This thing is so fast that I can now actually photograph my wife with her mouth shut. Folks, it's a comedy club, that's a joke. They don't make cameras that go that fast. They can stop the wing of a hummingbird, but not her jaw. And, you know, I've been married so long, and I'm picky. This year for my birthday, my wife just gave me money to go buy my own present, and she will never make that mistake again. She gave me $200, so I went downtown Cincinnati and got myself a hooker. Yeah, and I'm the bad guy. Hey, I did all the shopping here, you know. So, my daughter bought me a pair of these Levi's Stain Defender pants, Stain Defenders, and they are worthless because they only stop stains coming at you from the outside. Not the magic trousers I'd been praying for, you know. Oh gosh, before I'm only got a few minutes left, but oh geez, I almost forgot. You may have noticed I brought this musical instrument up with me. But about the last 5-6 years, I've kind of gotten into starting to play music. I got a guitar and learned to play a little bit, and then I started playing the ukulele, and I really fell in love with it. And I recently found a guy in northern Kentucky, up in Burlington, Kentucky, who custom makes ukuleles. And being left-handed, it's hard for me to find instruments. So I called him up and I asked him would he make one for me, and he said he would. And I had brought it because I really want to show it to you first and let you see it. He makes them out of cigar boxes. And this is a left-handed cigar box ukulele. And I just want to show this thing to you because, I mean, other than being a nice musical instrument, it's a work of art. I mean, can you see this? I mean, literally it's a cigar box. And amplified, you know, I mean, real nice neck and everything. And it's just absolutely beautiful. I mean, you can literally hang this on the wall as a work of art. And the cool part is I found out from my accountant, if I just bring it up on stage and show it to people, I can write it off on my taxes as a prop. which I think is great, and I think it's been out long enough to accomplish that purpose. And you're only applauding because I'm not going to play the damn thing. I think that's really it. You've been really fun. Well, you know, for a leper colony. Hey, he give you the finger at a leper colony. That means something. This next joke is, I like to play poker with psychics. I do. I just think I have a good hand and they fold. Okay. I went to night school. Sir Galahad was our valedictorian. God bless you, man. I want to party with you. Fight bigotry. I'd like to say that. Fight bigotry wherever you can. I despise bigots. I don't like bigots and racists. I despise bigots, racists. Well, the French, those sons of bitches. I don't like bigots, racists, or the French. Well, or Mormons. The extra book-carrying sons of bitches. What the hell? And Mexicans. I don't like them either. Bigots, racists, Mexicans, the French, and Mormons. Oh, and Catholic priests. Those ass fuckers. No, oh, man, yeah. I was an altar boy, I know. Thing is, I'm kidding, of course. The trouble is, it's hard to tell what a bigot looks like just by looking at someone. Unless they're wearing sheets and burning a cross in your yard, that's a giveaway. Here's how you can find out who the bigots are in your neighborhood. Put a for sale sign in your yard. We had a surprise baby. We needed a bigger house. That sign's not in my yard 5 minutes. My neighbor, a guy I thought I knew, is at my door going, Dennis, don't sell to blacks, don't sell to Jews, and don't sell to gays. I was shocked. And you know, it took me almost 9 months to find a black, gay, Jewish couple. You've got to look really hard. I mean, they aren't on street corners, you know. I'm like, thank God Al Gore invented the internet, because I found 2 guys in Ethiopia. Flew them over, sold them my house, and right after we closed the deal, I took them over because I wanted to introduce them to their new neighbor. I mean, you work that long on a joke, you want to see the shit hit the fan at the end of it, you know. Well, my old neighbor, the bigot, he's pissed. He's not going to live next door to 2 black, gay, Jewish men. He's going to sell his house and move. And he puts it on the market, and in the first 2 weeks, he does not get an offer. And he panics. His bigotry leads him to believe, because of who's next door, he's never going to sell his house. So he drops the price of his house $38,000. So I bought it. I got 2 more bedrooms, a big pile of money, and the best part of the deal, I got much better neighbors today. Well, that's quitting time for me. I'm Dennis Piper. Thank you all very much.
Dennis Piper, nice job. Stay up here. We're going to bring all the comedians up that were on the show tonight. Jeff Davis, Brad Lanning, Mike Chandler, John Hope, Bob Batch, Danny Hucks, Misty Stein. Everybody come up here. Let's get a group picture. We'll send it to Amos. And I do really appreciate you folks coming out here tonight. Jeff and I started the organization called SCLRF. It's a Stand-Up Comedians of Louisville Emergency Relief Fund. And the whole idea behind our organization is to help people out who need some assistance in our comedy community. So let's get everybody in the picture. Yeah, everybody come on up. Come on up. Misty leave? Okay, that's cool. And yeah, let's all get in the picture. And here, I'll get down here.
Hey, Jasper?
I cannot see Mike Chandler in the back.
Hey, Jasper.
Get in the light, bud.
Do you want Jasper in the picture?
Yeah. Hey, Jasper.
Yeah, let's get Jasper up here too. Jay.
Oh, my bush. I think the whole crowd's my dog.
Hey, Brad. How about that?
Hey, Brad!
Hey, Brad, how you doing? I didn't know you were here.
Go Frank!
Hey, wait for Jay. Wait for Jay.
I think the whole crowd should come out.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah. Let's
Fuck
get
it.
Chip in the picture.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all.
All right.
Let's get everybody up here. What the hell?
We can go up there first.
Sorry, man. I don't even know you.
Good favor. She might come too.
Okay.
Okay, I'm a tall guy. Go in the back.
Oh,
Wait,
look, it's Brad.
wait. James Brown is coming up as well.
James Brown, sir.
James Brown.
Serve more liquor than you guys.
That's right.
Hey, James Brown served more liquor to anybody that drank more liquor than anybody.
Where were looking, guys?
James Brown. All right.
I was always just, you gonna serve more liquor?
Everybody look to your right.
You right?
That's right.
Sorry, there's no more liquor for James Brown.
Look who's talking, brother. Look center now. Look center.
All right. You good? Okay.
We got one.
All right.
Is Amos still on?
Hopefully he's asleep by now.
Oh, battery died.
All right.
Is anybody recording for?
Yes, we are recording the show.
All right, buddy. We love you, brother. Get better. We'll see you soon.
All right.
And a big thank you to the Caravan, Diana, and all her crew tonight. Take care of them. Support live comedy here in Louisville. They got a great show. Amos is coming up this week.